Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 map tour. Today we'll have a tour on the hills of Slovenia. This is a map from the modder WhiteBull Modding. It came to Modhub and is available for all platforms. And it's a very small and tiny and cozy map somehow. And I already played it on FS19 and I'm really interested what is changed and what has stayed the same. So what I can see here, the houses seem much brighter than before. And yeah, he wrote in his text that all the textures had been made new, and I can see this. This is a texture from Oberon, and it looks nice on this house, very nice. And here, let's go around. So first here I see a plow. Yep. And here we have quite some stuff, and we have a forage mixing wagon. This is awesome. And oh, a very, very tiny windrower. But I think that's okay for this map because the fields are tiny, absolutely tiny. But I love to play this map with old-timers. So I had a very old tractor when I played it from the 50s of last century, and everything here was okay, so it didn't felt like the future was in some corners, but everything looked fitting for playing with old-timers, and that's what I like a lot on this map. So here is the sheep barn. Oh, how new and shiny. Very nice. And in the FS19 version it was not run down, this farm. So, like on a lot of other farms or maps. Here we have a rather huge grass field for the sheep, which is awesome. Everything else on this map is so tiny, but here the sheep have a lot of place. But now it looks more shiny. So they have just renovated everything, or it looks nearly like new build. Yeah, and we have quite some equipment here. Pickup and oh, I have to look how this is called. To make hay, this thingy. A tedder. Yes, a tedder. Okay. And a combine, the usual stuff, a mower. So we have much more equipment than in the base game maps, and a small loading wagon, which is totally fine for this map. I think this would be a perfect map for the tiny tractors from the Antonio Carraro pack. Yeah, I think it would. And here the usual stuff. And here we have I have to look again. It's no cultivator. It's a part of the base game sawing combination, but here only as a single equipment part. A power harrow. Yeah, small power harrow. And this is the cow barn. Yeah, new and shiny. Very well. And here, oh, I think a very tiny manure spreader. So here's everything that we need. And here is the pig barn. And I wonder whether those bales are real bales or just decoration. I think if they would be real, then when I come closer I would see some information about it in the right corner. And here we have a hay barn. New and shiny. And a field. Yeah, with sorghum. A tiny field. So let's have a look at the map. And here you see the tiny fields. And maybe we can get a glimpse of the size of the fields when looking to the contracts. So this field 9 is only 0.1 hectare. So a tenth of a hectare. It's very tiny. And it is field 9 here. Okay, so this 1 hour field is bigger. No, it's not ours. Here are our fields. Let's see. Yeah, this is not ours. Okay, and it costs 87,000. So it's not so cheap, and it's still a small field. Let's see for a bigger field. This is a bigger contract. This is a third of a hectare. And oh, I don't know how I could calculate it in acres. That I would have to look up, but it's still very small. So the usual small normal fields in the base game maps, not the very tiny ones, but the normal ones, they are about 1 hectare. And here this is a third of it. Field 30 here. I would say this is about average size for this map. So the fields are very tiny. Yeah, and we don't even own this. Yeah, this could be quite some hardship in the beginning. But you can get some sheep and some cows. And here you have grass that you can mow. You have all the equipment. Yeah, the garden is changed a little bit. Those decorative trees. Here you can mow, and there you can mow. And feed your sheep and cows. And then you can buy some chicken and maybe some chicken food from the shop. And then you have a small animal farm. Maybe that would be a good idea. So let's go inside the house. It's a house where you can go inside. And here. Seems like I can't go here inside this one. What a pity. Maybe like this. I wonder whether it's blocked, because there is another room and it's fully furnished, and the furniture is new, so it was different. In FS19 here was the kitchen, And I think the kitchen is here now, and here I can enter. Yeah. And it's a little bit funny because I feel like a 5-year-old in this furniture. And that is the same as in FS19. The furniture was very huge. And usually we are so huge in the farm sim. And here we are very small compared to the furniture. So, yeah, and everything is new here. Living room. Let's check whether you really can't go inside. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, here is something that keeps you from going inside. I don't know whether he wanted it like that. So, now it's gone. But it's okay, I don't need to go in there. And here is this, the sleep trigger. Yeah, this is the sleep trigger. In the living room. Okay. Yes. So, let's go and have a look. Oh, what did I do? Maybe it was the car that turned me. And I wanted to have a look on this roof. Yeah, this looks like the Oberraum roof and the Oberraum walls. Yeah, which I also like to use. So, and here we have a house from Erlengrad, and I think this is awesome because the Slovenia is very tiny country and it's south to Austria, and it's not in the highest part of the Alps, but it is still part of the Alps, at least part of Slovenia. And so therefore those houses are rather good fitting for this this area, and the one out of stone too. I have been in Slovenia once, only once sadly, because I really like it, and yeah, it's such a nice country, such a nice surrounding and landscape, and those high mountains all around, they fit very well. Oh, I think this is a mixture from this is Erlengrad background and this is the old Felsbrunn background, and it's perfectly for this area. And those wounded roads are exactly what I got to know in Slovenia. I had to drive from the airport to hillier region, and there were a lot of those roads with lots and lots and lots of curves. And so, yeah, it is a good representation of this wonderful, beautiful country. So let's go over there, and here we have a shop. So this shop looks a little bit modern, but not too modern. But I guess in the 1950s of the last century, middle of the last century, we didn't had such shops, but rather soon they were coming. Yeah, I haven't been born in 1950, but only in 1960, and so my memory starts from the middle of the 60s somehow. When I was 3 years old, then I went to go shopping by myself because I was very big, and yeah, sometimes I was allowed to go shopping, and there were not so many cars back then, and yeah, the shops were not quite like such, and even less like this one. But I think 10 years later it would fit. And yeah, I'm saying this because I played this map with old-timers, and most of this map is perfectly for playing with old-timers. And that's why I chose it then in FS19, because I wanted to play with old-timers with a tractor from the 50s and as old equipment as I could get. Yeah, and therefore I made the decision this was best for playing with old machines. And I think the new version still is very fine for old machines, even if the supermarket is a little bit too modern. So let's go up here. Oh, and the cars are so fast now. Most of the time I like it that the cars are faster now, but sometimes it stresses me because they are so fast now and I'm so slowly in my reactions. And here we have a wonderful look to the lake and other nice buildings, and there we have modern silo. I think there is a selling station over there. Yes, it's the grain elevator. Okay, yeah, so the selling stations are more or less here and in the town and here close to the shop. And then we could go maybe like here and drive a little bit through the Forestry area. And here, and there is the sawmill, the carpentry. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So very tiny. Oh, sorry. So, you see how curvy this is. And this is like it is in reality. It needed a lot of concentration to go through all those streets back then when I was in Slovenia. Yeah, here's the forestry area. So you could do some forestry as well. The Hills of Slovenia. I think this name is very fits perfectly to this map. Hills everywhere. So this is definitely not a map for your Burgo equipment, but maybe rather for the Antonio Carraro tractors. Here we have the carpenter. Oops. Yeah, and here we are back again. At our little farm. Oh, I think the farm is not so small compared to the whole map. So this is the biggest part of the farm, the map somehow. Yes, I personally like this map a lot, and I think it's not suited for a lot of playing styles. It's good when you like to play with small equipment, and as you have already barns for all kinds of animals apart from horses, no horse stable, but all the others, I think it's a good idea to play here with animals. And then maybe you can earn enough money to make a living. You have a lot of equipment, so this is not so bad. Yeah. Tell me, what do you think about this map? Have you played on it in FS19? And what do you think about the changes? I'm really interested in what you think about this map. Yeah. So then I think that's it for this map tour. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.